I am not a computer person, as anybody can tell. And I wasn't meant to be put behind a desk. I was meant to be out there in the arena doing things I enjoy doing and love doing, and flanking bulls and bucking bulls and fighting bulls and riding bucking horses, that sort of thing. But we are here. All right. The meeting agenda. Yeah, we're waiting on paper to get back. Okay. All right. I'd like to say welcome to everybody for showing up for the Regional Pro Bull Riders Association, our board meeting. I'd like to introduce our executive CEO, Chris Garr. At this time, I'd also like, I know some of our directors ain't here, but we have our media director, Raleigh Duntley. This is Raleigh Duntley, Mount Oklahoma City.
And also representing B&E today.
Yeah, you bet. They did a lot of bull ridings out in Oklahoma City, and out in the western part, southern part, Pauls Valley, that area down there. We have our Eastern director over here, Mr. Jay Pierce.
Hey.
We have one of our judges, directors and stuff, Big Sean Baker back here in the back, hat. And then we got our secretary is going to get some more paper for the printer. And our treasurer is Sean Johnston. She's over here to my right. Feel free to throw anything if you want.
You better look out.
I
was gonna say.
But anyway, first thing on the agenda we'd like to go over is our point system. This is very cowboy friendly. I can't see how a person that is a bull rider that you couldn't want anything like that. One of our before we get into that, is one of our directors, the stock contractor director, is Charlie Griffith. I think he's outside for a minute in a meeting. He's out of Welch, Oklahoma. Anyway, they got some Wild Man bull riding productions and different things that bull riders that go on, and stock contractors. Chris Griffith is our northern director for our northern region. He's out of Kansas. He oversees the northern area and makes sure that if you have any questions, you can contact him. It's on our board information and board of directors and everything that's on the sheets that I've given you. And contact any information. Feel free to contact anybody anytime if you have any questions. And then now back to our point system for the regional bull riders. If you're like us, last year we were struggling having bull riders and stuff that call in and then not show up. Even call us in late and then not show up. But we're going to eliminate that this year best we can. All your contestants to call in during the call-in hour, which is the regional pro office, and I know there are some call-in numbers on your flyers and stuff that'll be at your places. That's fine. Just when you get your entries, call them into the office. If in fact take the bull riders. If they call in, you take them. If they call in, say at 10 o'clock, our cutoff's from 4 to 10. It's a call hour at 4 p.m. to 10 at midnight or 10 p.m. in the evening. And they call in at 10:30, 11 o'clock, take them. They don't get that extra 5 points. Mark it, okay? Because they get 5 points for calling in on time during call-in hours, okay? And then they get another 5 points for calling in, and when they show up and pay their entry fees, gives them incentive to show up. We're going to make this a tight race, come down to the finals is what this is about. Then, if a guy gets on and mounts out, he gets 10 points. So there's a total of 20 points right there for just calling in, paying the fees, and getting on. The reason we've done that is, too, if guys are getting injured, say they pull a hamstring or something happens and they can't get on, but and they're in a tight race and they want to stay in and running for the finals or a buckle or whatever, we set that up that way so they can still get and receive points. They still have to pay their entry fees, still have to pay just like they were entering. but they can do the tough heat 'em and hangs, what I call on the backside of the bucket chutes when he started getting on bodacious at the NFR, and let the bull out. You know, that it's the PRCA rules that we're going by in the bull riding, and it's just like standing contentions in the finals. You know, you still got to mount that bull out, at least be on the back of the bucket chute, you know, in there with him so the bull can leave there. And you still have to pay fees, everything. That's at 20 points. Now, if a contestant has 2 no-shows in a row without a doctor's release, he loses 50 points. That's more points. He's falling back. Yes, sir.
In a row, or if just 2 no-shows, period?
Well, if he has 2 no-shows, period, without, or even in a row, that he doesn't have a doctor's release, because there would be some of those, I think the reason it's set like that is because there's 2 rodeos or 2 bull ridings on the same day that are different times. One will be in the afternoon, one will be that evening, okay? If that guy you can't penalize him for if he's injured, okay, for both of those. So basically, I should have clarified that better to where if you miss two weeks in a row, you call in, you enter, and you don't show up, you're losing 50 points, okay? But then after that, he has to pay the stock charge at those deals before he can get on. If he does it again, it's a $50 fine. He does it the 3rd time, it's a $100 fine, and then we'll have to worry about it because by that time he's pushed himself out of the finals. Unless he still continues to go to half the events, but he still has to pay the stock charge for those outs that he missed and without a doctor's release. If they got a doctor's release, we understand that. Like I said, we're cowboy friendly, but this calling in and not showing up and going somewhere else, that's going to hurt them when it comes time to the finals because they won't get those. They won't be eligible for those points. Okay.
It costs you, it costs us when they do that.
You bet.
Excuse me, you have stock there for them, and
You bet.
and then if they don't show up, you know.
Are you gonna do a visible injury like the PRCA where if they're there, if they're there and they're hurt, you can obviously tell they're hurt.
Yeah, if
They don't
there's
have to have a
visible
doctor's
injury
release?
clause by the directors, everybody that bid their stock contractors and stuff, if they're in secretaries, which you'll be your card holder, approved card holders and judges and stuff, you see there's a visible injury there and he can't compete, yes.
So that eliminates the doctor's release. He's
That will
still,
eliminate the doctor's release. Just like, you know, if he shows up and he's got a cast on his arm, or cast on his leg, or he's got a gash across his face, or something, he's got a concussion of some sort, then you know, something's happened, because, you know, injuries do happen. We are, you know, very well there. Now, first place, we drop down on the point system real. First place will be 50 points, plus their highest score. First place, first, second, third, fourth, go 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. The top 6 places, okay? Now, if there's 2 rounds, if you have 2 go-arounds, long go, short go. If they're 90 points in the long go, and they are 82 points in the short go, they will get their highest marked score for that bull riding event. 1 score only that will be sent into the office. That'll be their highest, and that'll be on the judges' sheets that are sent into. Will be your highest marked score. So they're accumulated 50 points plus, let's say 90. So basically, they can have 140 points and just be on one head because it's the highest marked point they're having. Okay, like I said, it's bull rider friendly. We're marking those guys. Now, if a guy makes a qualified ride and does not place in the top 6, he gets 4 points for making a qualified ride, and he gets his ride points. We're not going to punish those guys that didn't fall in there because that's the luck of the draw. That's the way it goes. So it's rider friendly. It gets these bull riders coming to your event. It keeps them in there. If they're getting points, you know, for being there, and guys, stock contractors, in this association, basically there is no such thing as a 70-point bull ride. If there's a 70-point bull ride, he needs to re-ride. Okay? These hoppers, that's a re-ride. You know, they were 80 points in the bull ride and in the PBR, and they give re-rides for 80-point bull rides. We can give them for 70, 75-point bull rides ourselves. And that's the way I feel like the guys got to come with the riding britches. They're not going to get on one that runs off with his tail kinked in the air and get 70 points. They need to earn it. They need to get on some of the bucks to earn the points. If we look down through there in those judges' sheets and we see somebody at 75 points we're gonna figure that, okay, 20-point bull or whatever, he's hanging off the side.